Hey guys, my name's Alicia Kaur and I'm a whole food, plant-based, minimalistic vegan for over 10 years now. In this video, I'm going to explain why it is I eat the way I eat, how I go about choosing the right foods to put into my body, and how you can go about making changes to your life so you can thrive, not just survive. So let's jump in. For the last 10 years, alongside modelling, I have been studying and educating myself and others about food, nutrition and the human species, so we can all break out of the destructive behaviours and become healthier, happier humans. So a question I get asked a lot is, what is a whole food plant-based vegan? A whole food plant-based vegan is a person who eats food as close to nature as possible. This includes raw fruits and vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes, grains, herbs and spices, and then eating all of these foods in their most natural form. So why did I become a vegan? I became a whole food plant-based vegan because when I was 14 I was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian disease. After listening to the doctors and being prescribed several medications, I was diagnosed further with chronic fatigue, depression, chronic constipation, and the list goes on. I was covered with acne, I had absolutely no energy, I couldn't control my negative thoughts, and I had suicidal tendencies. Feeling this terrible in my skin, and by the age of 18, I felt like I was going to die, and I didn't want to suffer like this anymore. At the time, I was lucky enough to be introduced to some amazing people who opened me up to the possibility that I could heal myself with holistic plant-based vegan food. Now, over 10 years later, I'm disease-free, and it's all thanks to the power of whole foods. And I know it sounds crazy, but it works. So I'm going to take you through how I go about choosing the right foods to put into my body. When you decide you want to be a healthier human, all the fun begins at the supermarket. When you first walk into the supermarket, especially where I am, there is an array of fruits and vegetables, herbs and spices, nuts, seeds, legumes, grains and beans, all there to greet you. And these foods are your lifeline. Whole foods are full of vitamins, minerals, amino acids, nutrients and phytonutrients to help you thrive. They help break down toxicity in the body so you can live disease-free. So what foods do I like to eat? Well, spinach, cucumber, tomato, capsicum, lemon, cauliflower, carrot, beetroot, cabbage, potato, sweet potato, onion, garlic, ginger, chilies, fresh coriander, fresh parsley, leafy greens and bananas, a lot of bananas. Other whole foods include raw nuts and seeds, rice, legumes, beans and grains. When I'm shopping in this section too, I do not like to use plastic. It's bad for the environment and you have to be super freaking lazy or ignorant to keep taking plastic bags and think that there are no consequences to the environment. Just because the plastic is there, that doesn't mean you need to put your vegetables in it. Take a handful of loose vegetables and put them in your trolley. And if you have a problem with that, bring bags from home. Stop contributing to the already existing waste problem. I personally choose to not put my fruit and vegetable in plastic, and I choose not to buy fruits and vegetables that come in plastic. I do not like having excess plastic on my conscience. Now we are going to go into the rest of the supermarket, and this is where things get really interesting. So listen up. Everything from here onwards has been completely altered by humans, so keep that in mind. Second, everything from here onwards also comes in plastic, aluminium or some sort of box or package that creates an environmental problem. So I'm going to take you to the next section, meat. Even though I used to eat meat, this section now grosses me out beyond words. I avoid this section altogether. I like to ask people, if you had to kill the animal yourself, would you eat the meat? And 99% of people say no, but they blindly allow other people to kill animals for them with no thought about the consequences. The most corrupt part of this section is that the label doesn't contain the antibiotics or hormones the animal was on while they were alive, not to mention the fillers, sulfates and other chemicals making this meat appear fresh on the shelves. So only God knows what you're eating. Most people are overweight because they are eating way too much meat and eating way above their caloric needs. WHO, the World Health Organization, actually classified processed meat as carcinogenic, which means it causes cancer. But that hasn't stopped humans from consuming it. The myths around protein are beyond ridiculous, and it's been proven that you can get adequate protein from your plants. With that said, as we walk through the rest of the store, you need to always read your ingredients. The next section is the dairy section. Even though there are vegan items in this section like butters, yogurts and cheeses, I avoid them altogether. I only buy one item, which is organic unsweetened soy milk. When I buy any packaged products, I always make sure that I'm buying organic, and I read the ingredients to make sure they have not put in any sugar or any nasty ingredients, which I'll go into that a little bit later. Here's another little quick fact about dairy. We don't need dairy to get our calcium needs. You can get sufficient calcium from plants too. So let's move on to the next section, the bakery section. There's only one thing I get from here, and that's a loaf of whole grain bread. There is no preservatives, no sugar, and it's full of whole grains and seeds. I only eat bread maybe twice a month, maybe even less, and that's because I love to get my foods from the whole food section. The closer it is to nature, the more I love it. Most breads in this section are highly processed. They are full of sugar, preservatives, and other chemicals to make you addicted to them and wanting more. So always make sure to read your ingredients. So why do I keep saying read your ingredients? Well, that's because most packaged food contains ingredients that have been ultra processed. These are things like vegetable oils, sugar, processed bleached grains and starches. They contain chemicals including preservatives, thickeners, stabilizers, artificial numbers, colors and sweeteners, natural flavors, MSG and acidity regulators. Most of the chemicals are designed to enhance the taste of food, make the food last longer, and make the food more addictive. And to top it all off, most have not been tested on animals, let alone humans. So we are the scientific experiment. Let that sink in for a moment. So why is processed food bad for us? Processed foods are lacking nutrients, minerals, and essential vitamins and fiber that help our body break down toxicity to fight disease. These foods are often high in unhealthy fats, processed and refined sugar, refined whole foods, and full of processed chemicals that promote obesity, heart disease, diabetes, mental illness, cancer, and an array of other diseases. These foods are not supposed to be consumed, especially in the volumes that humans are consuming them. The Australian and New Zealand government, for example, do not promote eating these foods, although they are still allowed to be sold because of the labelling laws. And unfortunately, barely anybody knows how to actually read a label. If food comes with a label, be highly, highly cautious. Try to look for foods in the supermarket that don't come with a label, and they're mostly in the whole food section. Unfortunately, most whole foods are marked at such high prices, and because whole foods go bad quickly, a lot of people don't buy them. They turn to packaged food because it lasts longer and it's cheaper. Not only do packaged products affect the body, the manufacturing of these products often generates greenhouse gases, releases heavy metals and particulates into the atmosphere, and creates waste and sludge containing toxic contaminants which eventually end up in the ground, in the air, and in the sea. So next time you pick up a packaged item, 1. Always choose organic where possible. 2. Look for a BPA-free label. 3. Look for a GMO-free label. And 4. Read the ingredients. So how to understand what's in your packaged food and how to read ingredients? Well, first pick up the packet, turn it around and look for the word ingredients. If you don't understand at least one of the ingredients, or there is a word like sugar or processed oil, like vegetable oil, put the package down and walk away. But if you're unsure, look up the ingredient because it's easy. For example, open the web browser on your phone, type in, for example, sugar and the side effects, and you will read. Consuming too much added sugar increases heart disease, risk factors such as obesity, high blood pressure, and inflammation, all of which can raise the risk of developing acne. High sugar diets increase the risk of weight gain, type 2 diabetes, risk of dying from heart disease, all of which increase the risk for cancer. Yuck. But you still keep eating sugar. There are so many recipes online now to help you make your favourite foods in a whole food plant-based way. Try alternative foods to the packaged foods you would maybe normally buy. If not, for the health of yourself, for the health of the environment. So ask yourself, firstly, if it's necessary to buy the packaged item, and maybe next time take your own bags and fill them up on your own from the whole food section. What are other foods I buy? Well, I do buy some packaged food because there are no other options. The other foods I buy in packages are decaffeinated coffee and I buy herbal teas. The next item is organic rice crackers and organic corn chips. Again, like bread, I eat these maybe 2 times a month or less. There is a soft drink aisle in the supermarket which has my coconut water. Otherwise, I do not go down this section. There is nothing else in this aisle anybody should ever drink other than water and coconut water. Everything else down this aisle is highly toxic and should not be consumed by humans. Other packaged food that I buy is extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil, and organic sesame seed oil. I buy cans of tomato, which are BPA free. I buy herbs, spices, and Himalayan salts. And this is where the magic happens. Herbs, spices, and good quality salt like Himalayan salt or sea salt make food taste amazing. And these herbs and spices help enhance your food's flavour. The brilliant thing with herbs and spices is you can mix a few together and you get Italian, and you mix a few together and you get Mexican, and you mix a few together and you get Greek, and you mix a few together and you get Indian, mix a few together and you get Middle Eastern. The choices are endless and they are completely nutritious and full of vitamins and minerals which will help your body break down toxicity. Avoid sauces, sugars, and again, artificial numbers, etc. Companies sneak them in everywhere nowadays, so always read your ingredients. There's one more food section, which is the frozen goods, and I only get frozen fruit, like strawberries and berries, and peas from this section. You can buy frozen vegetables, but again, always read your ingredients because they sneak them into those too. We are now done with food. The next section is toiletries, which is probably the most corrupt section of the supermarket other than the cleaning product aisle, aka the poisonous aisle. Firstly, there is plastic packaging everywhere. Secondly, nearly every product here has not been tested on humans and there is no recommended usage amounts. Nearly all of the ingredients are toxic chemicals, and if you look them up, most common ingredients, they have several health effects including skin rashes, eczema, respiratory problems, colds and flu symptoms, and other issues with the immune system. Again, always choose organic where possible and stay away from sulfates, parabens, and fragrances. Try your best to read ingredients and choose natural where possible because your skin is the biggest organ on the human body and deserves to be treated with respect. Especially if you want to live wrinkle-free and pimple-free. When I buy toiletries from this aisle, I always make sure they are organic, natural, and vegan-friendly. I buy sanitary items, toothpaste, natural face wash, face cream, body soap, natural shampoo and conditioner, natural deodorant, and instead of moisturiser, I use organic coconut oil. And that's it. But I do not buy anything from this aisle unless I do my research. Other than toiletries, I do buy cleaning items for the house, and this includes washing detergent, hand and dishwashing soap, cleaning products, toilet paper, and I diffuse natural oils rather than using sprays and fragrances. And all of these items are organic or natural products. A lot of the products down these aisles is highly toxic, so please be careful because none of this aisle actually has the ingredients on the packet. What you have to do is you have to go to their websites and they'll list all of the chemicals on there. You will be disgusted once you know what's in a lot of these products, so I highly recommend always choosing natural organic products, especially if you have children or work from home. If you suffer from headaches or hay fever, maybe you get flus and colds all the time, please check out your ingredients in your food and other items in the house because you would be so surprised that it might be these things causing you these problems all along. Luckily today there are so many substitutes for these chemical products and they are really affordable and it is worth the investment. What I suggest people is next time you go to the shops, if you normally buy one brand, try to look for the alternative and start to just change the collection of the items that you would normally use in your house. This will really help you in the long run, taking care of your health as well as the environment. I do not condone the destructions humans are causing to the planet and to themselves, thinking that there are no consequences, because there are consequences. We are living in the consequences right now, and it's time to wake up. Stop eating your meats and dairies and packaged foods. Stop contributing to all of these chemicals and nasty products that are coming into the supermarkets. Stop chasing money and start treating your body as a temple. It's the only body you have been given, and no medication, operation, or amount of money can ever make you feel good in your skin. It all starts with taking care of what you eat and the way you live, and leaving as little environmental impact on the planet as possible. By being a whole food plant-based vegan, by not consuming processed packaged food, not using unnecessary amounts of chemicals and plastic and other packaging waste, I am contributing to a better future for everybody. Unless you make changes, you will see more disease, more obesity, more mental illness, more cancer, more deaths, more environmental destruction, more animalistic behaviour by humans, more forced control on humans as a species, and the list goes on and on and on. Try your best to be a better human being. Be conscious of your actions, knowing that they have reactions, and help others make these changes too. You will see a whole new world open up to you, but it has to begin with you. I know it might seem hard to make changes because I was also there once before, but I can promise you that once you take control of the way you eat, everything else falls into line. Food is fuel, and if you want to feel great, happy, at peace, and help the world become a better place to live, choose nourishing food. Eat more plant-based food, drink more water, exercise more, eat less packaged food, buy less waste products unless it's completely necessary, and unless you can kill an animal yourself, stop eating them. I hope this video has helped you see food in a completely different way and will help you next time you visit a supermarket or go to indulge in your senses. If you like this video, please share it. Subscribe to my channel, ring the bell, and go have a look at some of the other videos that I have created. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.